Dear students, today let us learn a very didactic poem entitled A Legend of the Northland from the textbook Beehive. The poem has been composed by P.B. Carey. P.B. Carey was an American poetess and the younger sister of poetess Alice Carey. The sisters co-published poems in 1849 and then each went on to publish volumes of their own. The poem is a legend about an old lady who angered Saint Peter because of her greed. The story goes on like this. One day, Saint Peter was preaching around the world and reached the door of a cottage where this woman lived. She was making cakes and baking them on a hearth. Let us discuss the poem Stanza Wise. Away, away in the northland, where the hours of the day are few, and the nights are so long in winter that they cannot sleep them through. In the region around the North Pole, that is Northland, the duration of the day is very less because its position is such that the sun's rays reach for a very less time. When this area is experiencing winter season, the duration of night is very long and the day hours are very less. In line 4, they refers to the people who live in the region. The poet says that the duration of the night time is so long that the people cannot sleep them through. If they go to bed, take a few hours of sleep and then they wake up. It is still night time. He wants to emphasize on the fact that the duration of the night is very long. Next stanza, where they harness the swift reindeer to the sledges when it snows, and the children look like bears' cubs in their funny furry clothes. The Northland region experiences severe cold conditions. It is a snowy area. The reindeer is an animal which is found in this polar region. People tie the reindeers to sledges and then the reindeers pull the sledges. He adds that the children look like young ones of a bear because they wear funny looking clothes made of fur, which is like the furry skin of a bear. Third stanza, I don't believe it is true, and yet you may learn a lesson if I tell the tale to you. In line first, they refers to the parents or elders, and them refers to the children or the younger generation. The elders of the Northland region tell a strange and interesting story to the younger generation. The poet says that he doesn't think that the story is true, but if he tells the story to the reader, maybe the reader could learn a lesson from it. The story gives an important message. Once, when the good Saint Peter lived in the world below and walked about it preaching, just as he did, you know. The story is about Saint Peter. When Saint Peter used to live in the world and went around giving religious lectures to the people just like all saints do. Then an incident happened. He came to the door of a cottage in traveling around the earth where a little woman was making cakes and baking them on the earth. When Saint Peter was moving around the world giving religious lectures to the people, he reached the door of a cottage where a small woman was making cakes. She was baking the cakes in the fireplace. Next stanza. And being faint with fasting, for the day was almost done, he asked her from her store of cakes to give him a single one. This stanza tells us that as Saint Peter had not eaten anything the entire day, he was very hungry and was feeling weak. So he went to the woman who was baking cakes and he asked for one cake out of many cakes that she had baked. So she made a very little cake, but as it baking lay, she looked at it and thought it seemed too large to give away. The woman was selfish. She did not give cake from her store. Instead, she started making a very small cake for Saint Peter. She did not want to share her things. But when she put the cake for baking, she looked at it and thought that this cake was too big to be given to someone. Therefore, she needed another and still a smaller one, but it looked, when she turned it over, as large as the first had done. This stanza means the little miser woman thought that the cake was too big to be given away, so she started making another smaller cake. When she looked at that cake, she again felt that it was as big as the previous one. Again, she was not ready to give the smaller cake to Saint Peter. Next stanza. Then she took a tiny scrap of dough and rolled it flat and baked it thin as a wafer. But she couldn't part with that. This stanza tells us that the third time she took a very small amount of dough and rolled it. The poet says that she rolled and rolled to lay emphasis on the fact that she rolled the dough and made it very thin like a wafer and baked it. But she was so greedy that she couldn't give that thin piece of bread to the saint. For she said, my cakes that seem too small when I eat of them myself are yet too large to give away. So she put them on the shelf. Now the woman reasoned that when she ate the cakes, she felt that they were very small, but if she had to give them to someone, she felt that they were too big to be given away. She put all the cakes on the shelf of her kitchen, and she did not give any cake to Saint Peter. Then good Saint Peter grew angry, for he was hungry and faint, and surely such a woman was enough to provoke a saint. Now Saint Peter became angry. He was very hungry. He was feeling very weak, and the selfish woman was not ready to give him even a small cake. This behavior of the greedy woman angered the saint. Next stanza. And he said, you are far too selfish to dwell in a human form, to have both food and shelter, and fire to keep you warm. Saint Peter now cursed the woman and said that she was very selfish. She did not deserve to live like a human being. He added that God had given her food, shelter, and fire to keep warm, but she had become selfish for all the resources she had. She did not want to share them with anybody. Now you shall build as the birds do, and shall get your scanty food by boring and boring and boring all day in the hard, dry wood. Saint Peter cursed the woman, that hence she would become a bird, because she did not deserve the human form. She shall become a bird, and just like birds build their houses by boring into the wood and collect very little food by working hard the entire day. Similarly, she would also work hard in the dry wood all day and get little food and make a small place for herself to live in. Then up she went through the chimney, never speaking a word, and out of the top flew a woodpecker, for she was changed to a bird. As soon as St. Peter cursed the woman, she did not get a chance to speak for herself, because that very moment she flew up to the roof through the chimney and flew out in the form of a bird. St. Peter's curse had converted the woman into a bird. She had a scarlet cap on her head, and that was left the same, but all the rest of her clothes were burned, black as a coal in the flame. This Shashanja means to say that when the woman found turned into a bird, at that time she was wearing a red colored cap on her head. The cap was there on the bird's head also, but the woman's remaining clothes had burned and turned black in color just like coal. And every country schoolboy has seen her in the wood, where she lives in the trees till this very day, boring and boring for food. People who live in this countryside, even the small children who go to school, see this kind of bird in the woods. They see that she stays there all day and keeps on digging the wood with her beak to collect her food. Whenever any child sees this kind of bird, then his elders tell him this story. They say that the bird used to be a woman earlier. She was very greedy, and so she was cursed by Saint Peter and turned into a bird. They get a teaching that they should not be greedy. Now the moral that the poem bears. The poem conveys the message that as human beings we should have positive qualities like affection, love, fellow feeling, sympathy, generosity, and a sense of sharing. The poet also brings forth the idea that people with negative inhuman values like selfishness, greed, and cruelty are ultimately punished.